So yeah, I'll explain that one in just a second. But first, if you're interested in building an acoustic sound panel without any tools, I may have a solution for you. So yeah, this is actually the second time I'm having to film this portion of the video because the very first time I had major mic issues unexpectedly. I've actually used this mic twice before already for these videos on the channel, but I am using the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. It's the newer version of the VideoMic Pro. On the first couple of videos, I was actually using it probably as intended with the rechargeable battery inside. And it worked great, no problems, no big deal. So I wasn't expecting to run into what I had run into. Basically, I was using a Anker brand, I think it's Anker. So yeah, it's a Anker brand USB wall charger, and it has a couple ports in there to be able to plug in multiple devices. So I was running a longer USB cable into the microphone itself to give it a constant power source. That way, I don't ever have to worry about the battery dying while I'm filming in the studio, situation where it's on the tripod, everything's plugged in. So basically everything I'm doing right now has a constant power source, and that was a great idea, right? Well, when I got ready to edit that last footage, that's one thing I didn't think to check, and come to find out that power source somehow had some kind of noise in the line that ultimately induced a distortion, inside of the VideoMic Pro Plus, and all of the audio was completely unusable. And according to Rode Tech Support, hi Kyle, thanks for getting in touch. Unfortunately, this likely has to do with the conditioning of the power source you are using when the mic is connected to an alternate power supply. Huh, you think? Using an isolated power bank, in particular, a battery pack supply would likely resolve the issue. Anyway, point is, problem is solved by using either a separate power bank or just finding different wall adapters. So for me, I ended up using an old iPhone wall charger to basically create a dedicated power source for that microphone. Instead of running into a USB splitter power source, this acts as its own power source, and distortion problems are no more. So needless to say, lesson learned, won't do that again. Anyway, so back to this DIY project. So I looked online for all kinds of different acoustic panels, and I've come across quite a few options that are out there, but nothing really that I wanted to actually spend money on. It was either too expensive, or I didn't like the way it looks, or it just seemed too cheap. So I figured I'd be better off just making my own, and after doing a bit of research, came across a really interesting YouTube video where a guy was doing a audio test with a microphone, and I guess he had some kind of frequency response, meter or tool, so he could actually measure different sound waves or frequencies, that he played back in real time through certain materials. So between canvas and fiberglass and egg crate foam, or even bathroom towels, out of all of that, bathroom towels ended up performing the best. So I thought, okay, well, why not build my own panel using bathroom towels inside of it? That way I could still get the look of what I do like. So then I came up with a way to put all of this together. I didn't want to glue or stick with any kind of adhesive the foam panels to a wall, so I wanted them to be removable. So then I thought I would use acoustic foam panels and stick them to just a regular old canvas. That would give me room to be able to put old bathroom towels inside of the back of it, because there's space here to do that. And this canvas is actually this is about a 1/2 inch thick, but you can ultimately go up to whatever thickness you want and just add more towels on the back. So putting this all together, you're actually going to be able to glue these acoustic foam panels onto the canvas directly using some type of spray adhesive. Now this is a multi-purpose adhesive from 3M, and the number right here is some type of strength designation or strength indicator. So you can obtain all this from Amazon, and the best thing is you really don't need any tools other than just your hands. And this Super 3M 77 is what I use, and I think it's more than strong enough. I've been testing it for a couple days now, whereas I actually tried initially using this Krylon Easy Tack from Hobby Lobby, and yeah, so the tiles fall off. So I don't recommend using anything like this at all. So skip that. Definitely go with the 3M. Now on Amazon, when you buy these acoustic panels, it may suggest the general purpose 3M adhesive, which has a 45 next to it. That's totally fine. That will work. I just happened to grab the 77 because I was already at a store and it was just right there in front of me. So anything between a 45 and a 77 is totally fine. So we're also gonna want some kind of gray paint. Now, it doesn't have to be this particular gray paint. This came from Hobby Lobby, but you can get all kinds of paints from Amazon, and I will link some of those below as well. This one is called Amble Gray. It's the closest one I could get to match these foam panels on a whim. And the reason for the gray, you can spray all the edges of this white canvas. So when you do glue these panels on, it gives your edge a much better, finished type look. So after you paint around the front edge, you can flip them over and do the same thing with the back. That way you're not going to see the little tiny white edges that might appear when they're hanging on a wall. You're definitely gonna coat that entire edge so that it blends in nicely with the foam panels once they're installed. You do want to give the entire canvas a nice coat of the spray adhesive glue, and then you're gonna give the foam panel each a nice coat of glue. It doesn't have to be 100% covered. And when you're placing the foam tile onto the canvas, be sure to line up the edges first before you lay the rest of the piece down. But if you needed to reposition the tile, you always can. You just want to slowly pull it back up, reposition it, and then put it back down. Not a big deal, but don't wait more than a few seconds. So once you have all the tiles in place, just definitely go around each of the edges and make sure that they're pressed firmly down and you don't have any overlapping tiles or anything that's kind of sticking on one edge or the other. And since you have all the tiles attached to the canvas, now would be a good time to go ahead and flip it over. You can press from the back side to make sure that you have a firm bond between the foam and the canvas itself. And as far as the next step, you're gonna lay your bath towels into the back of the canvas and go ahead and trim them up to make sure they'll fit before you glue them. And go ahead and give the back of the canvas a nice layer of the spray adhesive on both sides. And then you can go ahead and lay the towel into the frame. So once you have the towels in place, be sure to press those in so you can get a nice bond between the towel and the canvas. So the finished product should look something just like that. And you have nice gray edges that match the actual color of the foam. And you can pretty much move this and hang it wherever you want. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a nice little DIY project that doesn't require any tools to complete. And this foam actually comes in a variety of different colors that I've seen, so you can kind of mix and match if you want to do, all blue, all red, all green, or blue and charcoal, or red and charcoal. You can do some kind of funky patterns there. You can even take multiple canvases, put them next to each other, or kind of stagger them on a wall. While this may not be the cheapest option that's out there, this is definitely a couple dollars per square foot cheaper than most of what I've found to be pre-made and ready to order. So this can save you some money regardless. And it's even cheaper if you already have a bunch of bath towels laying around. And you don't have to use towels to build this, but if you need more soundproofing or sound dampening, then you can always add in towels to the back of the canvas or multiple layers of towels. Some paint options, glue, foam, and canvases, I will definitely have links for in the description below. If you found this video to be helpful, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.